Good morning, guys. Ryan from Husky Moving, Arlington, Massachusetts, serving the greater Boston area. We are full service. Why do I always get hung up on that word? Service moving company. We do residential, commercial moves. We do disposal. We do odd jobs, handyman jobs. What else do we do? We do try to, if it involves a home, we try to get it done. We do artwork mounting. We do handyman mounting. Just got booked right before I did this video on a job to install some blinds, install what they call the ceiling track. I don't even know what that is. Assemble a dresser. We assembled grills. I disposed of a dead raccoon once. If you need it done, we'll try to get it done. If you want to pay. All right, anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about is reading the room. I'm going to preface this video before I get going. I want to make it very, very clear. I'm not an expert in this. I can't tell you how many times I've messed this up, both in my personal life and on jobs. How many times I've gone into rooms and made situations worse, not better. How many times I've messed up relationships with my family members when they needed something from me and I couldn't figure out what they needed from me, and I did something or I said something which wasn't what they needed from me. Can't tell you how many times I've done this with girls where girls were trying to have a serious conversation with me and I didn't understand the conversation I was in, and I made comments that I didn't understand how they were going to affect the conversation or the other person. Just countless times. I can, right off the top of my head, I can think of a million times at work where I've done this, where I've inadvertently not understood the temperature of a room, and I've made it so much worse by things I've said or done inadvertently, specifically at work. But that's kind of why I want to talk about it, because I've gotten a little bit older, and I'm obviously, like anything, I'm trying to get better as I go. But I just want to preface that because I'm not an expert. I've made a lot of mistakes, which is why I don't want you to make these mistakes, because I've seen what happens when you walk into a room and you don't understand the temperature of a room, and you say you do something and the whole room just explodes. And you're like, oh shit, I just effed this up bad. And then, like, in the aftermath, you're like, the fuck, this didn't need to get this bad. And you're like, I made it this bad. Anyway, that's my little pre-warning. So the moving industry is really stressful. Really stressful. Anytime people encouraging someone to come into their house that they've never met before, by default, they're going to be stressed. The moving industry adds a lot of other stresses that, like, magnify everything. Oftentimes, they don't know exactly what they're paying, which is really stressful for people. They don't know the quality of work they're about to get. They don't know how fast you're going to move. They don't know what your experience level is. They're literally putting their life's work, which is everything that they've chosen to go out and spend money on, into your hands. And more than likely, they've most likely never met you before. So it can be really, really, really stressful for these people, and I get it. Like, I totally understand. But what winds up happening is it becomes like a magnifying glass. So whatever your personality is or whatever your struggles are become just 10 times magnified while the move is going on. And I've seen it happen countless times. If you're an introvert, you often get more introverted and you want to get away from all the shitstorm going on. And if you're an extrovert, you want to yell and scream and and everything's like an issue. Like, everything's an issue, and I got to let the whole room know. And sometimes it's so stressful that people who are normally calm will still literally lose their shit. And you watch it happen in real time. The person will be 3 feet away from you, and they're literally losing their shit in front of you. So the point of this video is you got to figure out what's going on around you and tailor yourself to what you need them to do. And it's not easy. It's actually very difficult. But oftentimes, like, I'll be in a room and, like, there'll be like 4 people in a room. Let's say there's me, my other mover, there's husband and wife. They need something done. 4 people have opinions on how it should get done. The husband and wife oftentimes will be button heads because whether you like it or not, more often than not, that's kind of the relationship that couples get into, is like they become opposed to each other just for the sake of becoming opposed to each other rather than being on the same team. You would think you would want to be on the same team, but we can all attest, I think oftentimes that doesn't happen. It actually becomes the opposite. It's like you guys are fighting against each other. Someone will say the sky is blue and the other one will be like, no, it's not, it's green. It just is what it is. There'll be a lot of noise in the room. There's always noise, tons of noise. People raising their voices and start to get frustrated and yelling and blah, blah, blah. And the dog's barking and the kid's crying, and it's just noise. And you'll watch the volume of the room literally will go up. You'll hear it. The whole volume will start to go. Everything will just start to increase. So what I want to talk to you guys about is when you recognize that something like that happening, for example, like that's an example. You recognize that happening, I want you to take a step back, like physically take a step back from what's going on. Maybe kind of like tailor your body language, like maybe if you're like all jacked up, maybe like tone it down a little bit. Maybe step off to the side a little bit so you're not quite as imposing. Step off. Put your arm against something so you're kind of more relaxed and leaning. It's less like threatening. And I know these are like, I obviously understand that people don't think you're about to punch them in the face, but you need to understand the way your body language is conveying to people around you, whether it's making them more or less stressed. It's a real thing. You got to think this stuff through. So if you can take a step back, put your arm on something, kind of turn your body away from it, and be casual about it. Be like, oh, okay, like, we have a lot of experience on mounting TVs. I think we're gonna be okay. We'll be all right. Yeah, no, I don't think you need to worry about it. You'll be all right. Just kind of casual. Be like, I think we got it. If we have any questions, we'll let you know. No big deal. It's very different from, yeah, we know how to unmount TVs. And the way I am, kind of a psychopath, my natural thing is the latter rather than the former. So this has been kind of a challenge for me, something I've needed to work on. I tend to be more a little up in your face and like, oh, we'll be fine and get out of my way and you don't need to worry about it, I'm an adult. That's like naturally how I am for a bunch of reasons I'm not going to bore you with. Not always a good thing. But if you, again, think about what you're doing. Take a step back, like relax your body language, lean against the wall, casual, shoulders down, not flailing all over the place with your arms, and just lower your voice a little bit and project an air of calm without being a psycho about it. Like you don't want to be the, security guy that's grabbing people by the throat. You want to be the guy who knows how to talk to people and be like, oh no, it's okay. Like I understand you're upset, but we're gonna get you through it. So kind of read the temperature of the room. If the volume's getting louder, reduce your volume and see if you can get the volume of your coworker to reduce as well. Sometimes when people get going, like once they get going, talking and yelling and whatever they're doing, you literally just need to let them go. Let them get it out. Take a step back, relax, stop talking. Don't say a word. And just let them blow it out. Whatever the fuck they need to blow out, just let them blow it out. And they'll go, and they'll go, and then they'll go, and then pretty soon the steam will be like released because you allowed them to go. But what I've found is like, if they're going, and then you go, and then your coworker go, it's like everyone's just like over talking each other. It's just the volume's just going up. And it just gets worse and worse. It's not good. So every room you go into, you got to kind of read the temperature of the room. You got to figure out what the volume of the room is and what these people need you to be. Some people need you to retract back so that they can theoretically retract back as well. Other people need you to, like introverted people, need you to kind of literally kind of hold their hand and walk them through the process. And there are other people who kind of will just like shut down a little bit. And you need to like physically kind of be like, all right, well, here's what I need from you. I need you to tell me like, what's important, what's fragile to you, what's, where are your valuable items that I need to protect, and walk them through the moment and get those people to kind of come up to the fact that they need to like get involved in the move a little bit. Is another thing you need to worry about. There are times when you can tell people are like really, really stressed. And I'm not an expert in this. I can't tell you how many times I've messed this up, like literally messed this up bad. But there are times when you can tell people are really stressed where you can make a comment that will gently make a joke out of it and kind of get them to calm down a little bit and understand like the dynamics. Like sometimes you need to like physically, if someone's being a psychopath and you kind of gently make a joke about it without as a joke for the room as opposed to a joke just about them, you can sometimes kind of snap them out of it a little bit and let them know without actually saying, hey, you're being a psycho, you need to calm down. You can kind of let them know. I'm not an expert in this. I oftentimes go too far for a couple of reasons. A little bit of dickhead sometimes. What I think is funny, a lot of people don't think it's funny. I tend to be, at least when it comes to like humor, my sensitivity level is pretty low. I'm sensitive about other things, but not about like humor, I don't think. It's pretty low. So sometimes I miss the mark on this, but I'll try. Like if someone like let's say for example, a woman's like being real loud and causing the energy in the room to go up where it doesn't need to go up, I'll kind of say, hey, like kind of try to make a joke about it. We're like, all right, you're getting a little out of pocket right now. We're going to need you to calm down just a little bit. Like, take it easy. Slow your roll, gunpowder. Like something like that. Where, make it a joke, obviously. But try to get her to go like, all right, take it easy. We'll get you through it. Stuff like that. So if you can kind of pay attention to where people are going, it's fantastic. You'll see, I say this a lot. People kind of think I'm psycho unless you actually go there. But like I go to dog parks all the time because I have a couple dogs. And you can physically watch the energy in a circle of dogs. You watch. And if you actually pay attention to what's going on, it's kind of like you can pick up a lot of animal behavior. And human beings are no different. Like all animals kind of function the same way. We all have a structure, an order. Some of us don't get along with others. Some of us get along with others really well. It's actually exactly the same thing. People just don't like to look at it that way because they think human beings like these super evolved creatures. And we are to a certain extent, but we're really not. Like we usually don't overcome human nature. It usually drives us in the same way that my dogs are driven by their nature. And so if you think about it that way, if you pay attention, like when you're in a circle of people at like a barbecue, the dynamics, or if you pay attention at the dog park, for example, the dynamics amongst a pack of animals and how sometimes a dog will start barking and then another dog will bark and then another dog will bark and then another dog will bark. And it literally, literally the third, fourth dog have no idea what they're barking at. They're literally physically looking, you watch them, they're literally looking around trying to figure out what the fuck people are barking at. But they're still barking because the volume in the room has gone up. And so they're causing their volume to go up because their anxiety, whatever, lack of self-confidence, whatever it is getting them to bark as a protective measure or whatever you want to call it. And they don't even know what they're barking at. And it's very similar to human beings. When you get in a room full of human beings, sometimes things will get stressed and one will start barking and another will start barking. And before you know it, everyone's barking. Nobody even knows what the fuck they're barking about, literally. Don't be that guy. That's the purpose of the video. I want you to be the other guy. I want you to be the guy that goes over to the barking dogs and whispers, like, hey, we're good. Calm down. Like, we got you. You're gonna be all right. Gently pat their back. You're gonna be okay. We got you. And you bring the volume down. And I want you to be the guy in the room that controls that. You can control everything around you. That's kind of the next step is like once you get control of your own shit, the next step in your progression as a human being, business owner, whatever, is that you control everything around you, not just you, but everything around you. So that's what I want you guys to get to. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you found any information that you liked in this, please like and subscribe. And if you need to get a hold of me, my contact information is at the back end of the video, email address, and website. As always, thank you for listening. I appreciate it, guys.